So, most coaches pour hours into social media posts that disappear in 24 hours. But the coaches who wake up to new leads in their inbox every morning figured out something completely different. SEO for coaches is the one marketing strategy that keeps working after you stop. Write a blog post, optimize it for search, and it can bring you clients for years without you touching it again. In this video, I'll walk you through how to build an SEO strategy from scratch, even if you've never thought about Google rankings before. And somewhere near the end, I'll share the one advantage coaches have over every big content site on the internet that almost nobody talks about. So here's the plan. First, why SEO beats social media and ads for long-term client growth. Then, the step-by-step content strategy that actually gets your posts ranking. And finally, the multiplier tactics most coaches completely skip that make the difference between page 1 and page nowhere. Let's get into it. The first reason SEO matters more than social media is that it compounds over time instead of vanishing. Think about your last Instagram post. You spend an hour on it, maybe 2, it got some likes, and by the next day, it was buried. Now think about a blog post that ranks on Google for something like how to start a life coaching business. That post could bring you 10 or 20 visitors a day, every single day, for months or even years, while you sleep. The second reason is that SEO brings you the right people. When someone types a coaching question into Google, they already have a problem they're trying to solve. They're not scrolling past your post between cat videos. They're actively looking for help, which means they're already partway to becoming a client. And the third reason is trust. When you show up in Google search results, people assume you know what you're talking about. You didn't pay to be there, and you didn't ask a friend to share your post. Google decided your content was worth showing, and that builds credibility before someone even reads a single word on your page. So SEO compounds, it attracts qualified leads, and it builds trust passively. But knowing why SEO matters doesn't help if you don't know how to actually create content that ranks. And this is where most coaches either overthink it or skip steps that matter. The foundation of SEO is simple. Figure out what your ideal clients are Googling, then write the best answer on the internet. That's genuinely it. Everything else is details. Start by brainstorming about 20 topics your audience might search for. If you're a health coach, people are Googling things like how to stop emotional eating. If you're a life coach, they're searching how to find your purpose or signs you need a life coach. Write down every question your clients have ever asked you, because those same questions are being typed into Google by thousands of other people. Once you have your list, you need to check whether those topics are realistic to rank for. This is where keyword research comes in, and I want to be really clear that this does not need to be complicated. Answer the Public is free and shows you what people are searching around any topic. Google's Keyword Planner is free too. If you want something more powerful, KeySearch is about $17 a month, and it's built for people who aren't SEO experts. What you're looking for is a topic that gets decent search volume but doesn't have a ton of competition. The sweet spot for coaches is long-tail keywords. Instead of trying to rank for just life coach, which is insanely competitive, you'd go after something like life coaching for career changers or how much does a life coach cost? Fewer people search those longer phrases, but the ones who do are much more likely to become your clients. Now here's where coaches usually stop. They find a keyword, write a post, and hope for the best. But there's a critical middle step. Before you write anything, look at what's already ranking on page 1 for that keyword. Read those top articles, see how long they are, and what subtopics they cover. Your job is to write something better and more helpful than what's already there. Not longer for the sake of being longer, just genuinely more useful. So you've got your topic, you've checked the competition, and you're ready to write. Before you open a blank document, create a quick content briefing. Write down your main keyword, 2 or 3 secondary keywords, a rough word count based on what's ranking and what you want the reader to do at the end. I keep my briefings in my Paperbell blog, planning notes, just a few bullet points, but having that plan keeps you from rambling or forgetting keywords that matter. Then use an SEO checklist every time you publish. Put your main keyword in the title, in the URL, in the meta description, and somewhere in the first 150 words. Sprinkle your secondary keywords through the body and name your images with descriptive titles instead of leaving them as IMG_4372. These are small details individually, but together they send strong signals to Google about what your content is about. So that's the system. Brainstorm topics, research keywords, study the competition, make a briefing, write, and optimize. But even if you do all of that perfectly, there's a hidden factor that could be the difference between ranking and not ranking, and most coaches have no idea it exists. This is the part I wanted to get to, because it changes everything once you understand it. Google doesn't just care about what you write. Google cares about WHO writes it. They have a framework called E8, which stands for experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. And here's what almost no coach realizes. If you have real coaching credentials and actual client experience, you already have a massive advantage over the generic content mills and AI-generated articles flooding the internet right now. Let me say that again, because it's that important. Google is actively trying to surface content written by real experts with real experience, and that is exactly what you are. A certified coach who has worked with actual clients has more EEAT than a content writer who researched coaching for an afternoon and cranked out a 2,000-word article. So how do you signal this to Google? Put your credentials and experience on your About page and your author bio. Link to your certifications, and include real examples from your coaching practice in your blog posts. Not hypothetical scenarios, but actual situations you've navigated with clients. When you write from genuine experience, the content reads differently because it has specifics that only someone who's done the work would know, and Google's algorithms are getting better at recognizing that difference every year. This is the counterintuitive insight most coaches miss. They think they're too small to compete with big websites, but their size is actually their strength, because they have real-world experience that big sites can't manufacture. Remember what I said at the beginning about coaches who wake up to new leads in their inbox? This is how that actually happens. You write from real experience, Google rewards you for it, and the right people find you while you sleep. So you've got great content optimized for search, and you're writing from genuine expertise. That alone will get you further than most coaches ever go. But there are 3 multipliers that take good SEO and make it significantly better, and almost every coach I know skips all 3. The first multiplier is internal linking. Every time you publish a new blog post, link it to 2 or 3 of your existing posts on related topics, and go back to those older posts and add links to the new one. Google crawls from one page to the next through links, so the more your posts connect to each other, the easier Google can find and rank all of them. This takes about 5 minutes per post, and it's one of the highest impact SEO tactics that exists. The second multiplier is backlinks, which are links from other websites pointing to yours. Google treats these like votes of confidence. The more reputable sites linking to you, the more authority Google gives your content. The easiest way to get backlinks as a coach is to guest post on other coaching blogs or get interviewed on podcasts that link to you in their show notes. You can also list yourself in coaching directories like the ICF directory or Numii. You don't need hundreds. Even 5 or 10 from relevant sites can move the needle. The third multiplier is sharing your content on social media, but not for the reason you might think. Social shares don't directly affect Google rankings, but they drive traffic to your posts, and that traffic signals to Google that your content is worth showing to more people. So every time you publish a blog post, share it on whatever platforms you use. I schedule mine right from Paperbell, so it goes out the same day I publish. And the last piece is tracking, because SEO without measurement is just guessing. Google Search Console is free and shows you which search terms are bringing people to your site and which pages are ranking. Set it up once and check it once a month. You'll see which topics are gaining traction, and that tells you what to write more about. So here's where we started. Most coaches pour hours into marketing that disappears overnight, while the ones getting steady, leads figured out how to make Google do the work. Now you know the playbook. Write from real experience, optimize for search, and let the multipliers compound over time. You don't need to do all of this tomorrow. Pick one blog topic this week, write the post, and optimize it with the checklist. Then do it again next week. In 6 months, you'll have a library of content working for you around the clock. If you want a place to send all that new traffic, check out Paperbell. You can build your coaching website, set up your packages, and let new clients book and pay all in one spot. It's free to try, and there's a link in the description.